Start clapping right now for your and my good friend, Josh Johnson, everybody. Let's go. Let's go.
You know, I try to be optimistic about things, everything. So I'm not complaining. I didn't know how to take it. I'm still sort of blown away by it. Like, Trump and Mamdani met in the White House. I don't know if this feels like real life. This is crazy. All right, in case you're not familiar with Zohran Mamdani, he is the mayor-elect of New York City. And he won the Democratic primary, and then he went on to win the mayoral race against not-so-stiff competition. No, it wasn't great. But he won and everything, and the entire time leading up, the whole campaign, he was campaigned against hard by not just his opponents, but by like special interests, by billionaires, and specifically by the president. The president didn't want Mamdani to win at all. The president was over here tweeting hard. Tweeting like you could tell he was pressing the buttons extra hard on all caps all the time, wanted to let you know he meant business. Ain't nobody playing with y'all. And so he was tweeting, and not tweet because he got his own thing, he got that Truth Social thing, but like nobody, I don't know anybody who downloaded it, so then everything he tweet on there ends up on Twitter, so he basically still tweeting, but it's just like he has a platform now where he's like the only influencer. Like, I don't know a single other truther. You know what I mean? Like, no one else I know is posting truths but him. And so he's over here, talking about how he's going to mobilize the National Guard if Zohran Mamdani wins. Just like really wild stuff. Really hates the idea of him winning. Zohran calls himself a democratic socialist, and Trump was like, no, he's a communist. He's a communist in disguise. It's like, I don't even know what that means. That's... I don't know. That's... Okay, I guess. Man said free pre-K, and Trump was like, that must be communism. You know communists, you know those people that want everybody to eat, He wants a city-run grocery store or whatever. That sounds like communism. Get these communist apples out of my grocery stores. Just saying stuff that, I don't know, just didn't really make sense. And for his part, Zohran only really brought up Trump when asked. He wasn't just one of these people that was campaigning on, like, opposing Trump specifically. You know what I mean? Like, and it's wild that those two are supposed to go be in the same place. Do you know what I mean? That's wild. He invited him to the White House. Zohran better than me. I would have been like, nah, that sounds like a setup. I know a setup when I see one. Nah, I'm good. You're not gonna Fred Hampton me. No way. And look, I get why, like, I really do get why he would go, though. He is the mayor of a city with millions of people who need the resources of the federal government, resources that have been threatened. So I understand going. I'm just saying he's better than me. Much better than me. I've been invited to friends' houses and not gone because I'm like, I think they're mad at me. No, I think it's gonna be awkward. I don't know. Might be a tense conversation. Just stay home. But yeah, crazy. Because you gotta remember, leading up, it's so funny how we treat political figures, and not just political figures, but even like historical figures, where there's these cutoff points. There are these checkpoints where we forget everything that happened up until the next point in their story. You know? So now that Mamdani won, a lot of the stuff people were saying, they're just not saying anymore, and everyone kind of forgot it. But you rewind like 2 months ago, hysteria, like real hysteria around the idea of him winning. You know, people were over here being like, Zoran Mamdani, he invented Islam. How we gonna let somebody like that be mayor? You know, if he wins as mayor, the whole country is gonna be under Sharia law. I don't think you know what a mayor does. You had people, this is worrisome. I saw this and I prayed it was fake, and it turns out it's true. The story was getting so much national attention, and everybody was following the race so closely that Tuesday, there were people in other states that went to vote for or against Zoran Mamdani. I can't believe how much of this country is missing a civics class. Like, this is terrifying. The idea is so many people would show up in like Virginia and then vote. I mean, it kind of tricked some people into voting. I'm sure there were some people who weren't even going to go vote, but they were like, I gotta stop this. I gotta stop this terrorist from getting in. And then goes to the polls, doesn't see Zoran's name, and they're like, well, while I'm here. Oh, true hysteria around the idea. Because you remember, there were people who said if he wins, immediately New York is going to slip into the ocean or something. There are some people that don't even understand that Eric Adams is still the mayor. Do you know what I mean? That's why I think politics really sucks for someone who like wants to get in, change things, everything. There were people, so Mamdani wins, and the next day there were people being like, what he gonna do about the potholes? I already fell in the pothole. He's not the mayor yet. Well, he won, didn't he? That dude's going to the White House to meet with the president. President Trump. I think that we think, because he's been in our faces so long, that we really understand Trump. I don't think we do. I think that Trump is an enigma, and I don't mean that in a deep way. I mean that there's two ways to be like an enigma. You could be an enigma by being like a deep philosophical, like Alan Watts type that's just like looking at a star and just like pontificating for the rest of the night on like what it means to already be dead by the time we see you and be so far away, but it feels like you're in like my peripheral at the same time. Or you could be an enigma by just walking into a room and be like, blah, 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 blah. We don't really know why either person does either thing. We just sort of know that's what's happening. And so Mamdani goes over to the White House and they have a meeting, and like there have been a few people that have met with Trump that I genuinely wish I could have been like an invisible man in the room for. There's been some phone calls he's had. I remember first term, he's on the phone with a couple world leaders in one day. Like he's calling Mexico, he's calling Australia, he's calling. And it was the first time that we got a glimpse, because there were leaks of what the conversation was. It was the first time we got a glimpse of what it would would be like for him to govern, because he was on the phone, he was talking about, hey, look, I said, he's talking with Mexico, he's like, I said I would like get y'all to build the wall and everything. Just listen, just don't say you won't build it. I said you gonna pay for it, nobody gonna check the receipts, all right? We just gonna build the wall, you just don't say anything, okay? They ask you about it, be like, ooh, I don't know. Just keep saying you don't know. We gonna build the wall and it'll be fine, but just don't tell him. And sure enough, they leaked that conversation. They leaked the conversation where he's like kind of trying to like make a deal, but isn't being the like hard negotiator it seemed like he was gonna be on the campaign trail, right? And that first term had a lot of leaks. Because then apparently Trump called again. It was like, what the hell, man? Thought you were chill. And they get in the room. Because you also got to remember, Trump been campaigning hard against him, so it's a little embarrassing to have to invite this dude now. Because imagine you said all this stuff and then. Dang, y'all aren't gonna like this at all, but the closest thing to what Trump must feel seeing Mamdani in the White House, even though he invited him, after campaigning so hard against him, and then seeing how many people love him and how well he could potentially do. The only thing that's even close to it, in high school, one of our friends got pregnant, right? And she was wondering what she should do, right? And then there was one of our friends that was like, I don't think you're ready to be, a mom. Like, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm just saying, like, you're not even passing algebra. Like, I just feel like, I don't know, maybe, just saying. You were asking our opinion, I'm throwing my opinion out there. Maybe. And then, she had the baby, right? And baby's doing well, she's doing well, and she's still friends with her friend. So now her friend just gotta like hang out with this kid she campaigned against. That's tough. That's tough. And so you would think Mamdani coming to the White House and meeting with Trump, I don't know, they're gonna get in a room and fight or something. I don't know, like, because you gotta remember, Trump has been on like high alert. He's been tense for a while. It's been bad. Everybody keep asking about Epstein. I imagine Trump try to go to McDonald's and order, and they're like, but what about Epstein? Do you know what I mean? It's a lot. And so he already on edge. This probably isn't the best time to meet him for the first time. That does just crack me up. Imagine Trump really trying to treat himself too, like taking himself to McDonald's in like his car, like not even being driven. And he's like, yeah, can I get 2 Big Macs and 6-piece nugget? Get a large Diet Coke, another large Diet Coke, and an apple pie. And they're like, sure, anything else? And he's like, a McFlurry, too. And they're like, all right, your order is $48.25. what about Epstein? Like, what? And I don't know. This seems like he's not having a great year, right? And now you're meeting him as somebody he campaigned against hard. And then they're in a room together. Nobody knows what was like the vibe in the room except the people in it, which I can't imagine there were too many. And then they left the room and you're thinking, wow, this is it. Trump probably gonna mobilize a National Guard and everything. It's bad. And then they get out there and it seemed super friendly. It was genuinely insane. I didn't know how to take it. I've been trying to get people to stop fighting all year and listen to each other. There's two people who couldn't be more diametrically opposed on the political spectrum do it, and I'm like, this is uncomfortable. I don't know if I like this at all. Deeply upsetting. And then, Trump's sitting there, Zorn standing there. That was a weird dynamic. That was like that part was uncomfortable. I was like, he's got to stand at the desk, like it's show and tell, like. But then they're talking to the press, and it's like more than cordial. It's like he's like really hyping Mamdani up. He's like, he really beat the odds and everything, and I admire him a lot. And he's over here doing his thing. Young man, bright future for the city and everything. And I'm just watching like, what? It would be like. This feeling, I'm not even saying this is bad. I don't know if I can trust it yet. You gotta forgive me, I'm black in America. But I'm telling you right now, watching that press conference, it felt like, oh, y'all are pretty white. You'll understand what I'm saying. Okay. This feels like what I imagine y'all would feel like if you had all your friends come to Thanksgiving, and then just because of the seating, just by accident, your most racist uncle was sat next to like your young black friend, right? And so you're expecting, oh no, this is about to be terrible. And then out of nowhere, your most racist uncle just starts talking to your black friend about a Tribe Called Quest. You wouldn't be upset. You'd probably be pretty relieved, but you'd also be like, what? How does he know so much about Tribe Called Quest? No. Whole thing was very weird, and I wasn't the only one that was weirded out. Like, I wasn't the only one that was shocked. The media was also shocked. Shocked and seemingly a little upset. Because he's over here hyping Mamdani up. And I don't know if they got the first question, but I think they did. First question, New York Post was like, First question was trying to ruin the vibe. It's like, Mr. Mamdani, during your campaign, you called the president a despot, a fascist. Do you regret any of those statements? Did meeting him change your mind in any way? Or do you still hold those beliefs about the president who's right next to you? Like when somebody really trying to stir something up? You know when somebody's trying to stir something up and they do that thing where they're like, ooh, I wouldn't take that if I was you. I don't. Ooh, wow. They said that about my mama. I don't know what I would do if you. Ooh, that's bad. Wow. No, you better than me. You better than me, because I'm not scared to slap somebody. You know what I mean? You know, you see those people who really try to stir something up. They ask them, you know, what do you say? And he was like, the president and I have had many disagreements, but I'm glad that we could have a meeting about the things that we agree upon, and it's a future for the city. It's to do well for New Yorkers, and I think that we can work together in cooperation. And then you even see Trump. You even see Trump just like looking at him like Then he finished just answering the question, and then Trump is like, despot, I've been called a lot worse. I don't even know who asked the next question. I saw another clip with somebody just as upset as New York Post was over here. Newsmax or whatever, I don't know who it was, but they were like, yeah, you seem to think that most of the president's tactics were that of a dictator. You actually called him a fascist several times on the campaign trail. Do you still hold those beliefs? And then Trump, out of nowhere, interrupting, out of nowhere, goes, you can just say yes. Like, you can say yes. You can just say yes. It's easier. It's easier if you just say yes. I was like, what is happening? This is crazy. It's like watching Aladdin. And then they went through all that just to like hang out with Jafar. You know what I mean? Crazy. What? And look, maybe it's gonna be fine. I don't know. That was, I guess you can only have so much energy. You know what I mean? You can only fight so many people. And you also gotta remember that, like, Zoran has a real gift. He has a real gift. He has real charisma. He has just a real presence about him. You know? Deeply charming. Even if you don't like his politics, it's hard to admit that he really energizes people. And that's a special thing, especially now. To be a Democrat that energizes people. There's not many. There's not many at all. There's a depressing amount. There's actually so few that I'm genuinely worried about even the midterms. I don't know. This might be bad. Because, wow. Sometimes, especially when you see the top brass, you know what I mean? Like you see like Chuck Schumer or Hakeem Jeffries on TV, and you're like, well, uh-oh. Do you know what I mean? Like, Hakeem Jeffries got the vibe of somebody who is like, even when he's like low-key trying to do the right thing, Hakeem Jeffries will step up and get in front of you in a way where you're like, oh, don't. Like, You know, like, it would be like if you got bullied at school and then your dad really wanted to do something about it. But you were like, Dad, you little too. Like, you can't. You know what I mean? Your dad's like, no, let me go talk to him, you know? And dad think that just because he a dad, he gonna talk to the bully and the kid's gonna be scared. And it's like, y'all eye level. That's not gonna work. And, you know, what if he starts swinging? You anemic and everything, like, you can't. And so a part of me does get how this could happen, because Zoran's actually a charming person, you know, and he's energized people. And you even saw Trump be like, I think that there are some conservatives that are gonna love him too. I'm like, what world are we living in? What? It low-key feel like they got in that room alone and Zoran slipped Trump a 20. Like, it's just... What is happening? What did he say to him? But I get it, because, you know, he's actually, you know, charismatic person, and Trump is surrounded, especially in this second term, more so than the first. The first term, Trump was surrounded by, you know, some sycophants and everything, but mostly people who were very, very deeply qualified and boring. He started out with a bunch of people who really knew how to do the job, and he fired most of them almost immediately because they were like, oh, you can't do that. And he was like, get him out of here. He was firing people hard. That first term, remember, I don't even know how to say his dude's name right. Reince Priebus, what's his name? Reince Priebus. He fired that dude on a runway. Like, that dude had to walk back from the tarmac. Maybe I'm imagining it, but I feel like it was raining. Like, it was... And then he had to fire that dude that was the White House press secretary, Sean Spicer. The next time we saw Sean Spicer, he was on Dancing with the Stars. And we were like, how? You not even fit. Like, what's... I don't even know who his partner was, but he was letting her do all the work. He was over here. He'd do that first twirl, and then she'd do 16 spins and come back around to him and everything, and he... That first term, he was surrounded by people, you know, Rex Tillerson. He had all these people around him who, you know, mildly competent but deeply boring, and then they wouldn't do what he would do in their situation. They're like, no, we have to, and they had, like, you know, a little bit of rule of law in there, even though plenty of things were contested as unconstitutional, but there were still people who had a bit of a thicker barrier than I think his agenda and the people around him were expecting, right? And so firing. This time he didn't really have that problem. This time he came in with people fully prepared to do whatever he said, like loyalists, you know? But the problem with, like, sycophants, the problem with loyalists, especially loyalists that are, like, deeply incompetent, is that they do annoy you. Like, they do bum you out. Like, it doesn't even look like he's having that much fun when he gets complimented anymore. Like that first term when everyone would sit around and compliment him, he really looked like he was getting ice cream. Like, he was having a great day, you know. This time he's sitting there, and then Pam Bondi's like, thank you for being the smartest, most greatest president of all time. And he's like, hey, doesn't even feel like she mean it. Like, so to have Mamdani, who knows? Maybe Mamdani, like, gave him a compliment that was like, oh, wow, you noticed? Or just somebody who can hold a conversation. That might be different, you know? That might be way different. Trump, you gotta keep in mind how much Trump is surrounded by people who are charisma sucks. Like they just, like even when Trump is like trying to be funny, I'm sure they ruin it. Trump might even try to make a joke. And then they don't know because they're trying to be a loyalist so hard, they don't even know he's making a joke. So then they're like, do you want us to do that? Do you want us to do... It's not fun at all. You know? It is a funny idea to me though that maybe, even for like who Trump is, he would rather hang out with Zoran than like J.D. Vance. Like it's like the idea that he also like knows the score. Like the idea that he's around J.D. and he's like, this sucks. This is like, it's like, is he squinting or is he smiling? I cannot tell. Because you got to remember, first term. That dude, who did he have? What did he have? He had Mike Pence. This man was trying to be president, had Mike Pence at every turn, just around the corner, like one of those kids from The Shining, just like, anything you need me to do, Mr. President? Mike Pence too locked in. He was. Like, even when he would do an interview, you'd be like, oh, this is maybe the most humorless person I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, at least JD is cringe. Like, he's like trying to be funny. You know, sometimes he'll tell a joke and he'll have his own laugh at the end of it. And it's like, yeah, that's not gonna trick us into laughing. That's not how jokes work. There was that weird, he tried to tell some weird joke. I think he was talking to the troops or something. And he was like, you know, I asked my staff earlier, I was going over jokes. We were joking. And I asked them if I should do one of the jokes that I just told that we all laughed at. And they were like, sir, please don't do that one. What just happened? What happened? What was that? That's insane. You are now laughing at a thing we didn't hear. We are not in your head. That's what Trump is around. It's just that guy, or you go to the past and it's just someone being like, so you want to like pray? Apparently Mike Pence prayed around Trump so much Trump started bringing it up. He was like, you gotta get rid of this guy. Every time we're alone, he tried to pray on me, and his first one was nice. The next 12 are very upsetting. Ooh. You know? Because prayers aren't bad. It's always nice when somebody's like, hey, can I pray for you? I'm always like, yeah. But if they were like, can I pray for you? And I was like, yeah. And then they prayed for me. And I was like, thank you. And then I saw them 5 minutes later and they were like, can I pray for you? I'd be like, what's happening? What do you... Now I feel like you praying at me. Like you, like... Now I feel like you prayed something and it didn't work. Are you trying again? No. So then he's in there with Mamdani and they have whatever conversation they have. I'm sure we'll find out little pieces of it later or whatever. Maybe it's out now. I don't know. I watched the press conference and that was about all I could take. Because I'm not saying, here's the thing, I'm not saying that cooperation is bad. I'm not saying that building, building relationships that benefit people is what politics should be. That's what all the leaders should do, is like put any general differences aside and make sure that they're at least like serving the people that they were put in place to serve. I'm not saying any form of real cooperation is bad. I'm just saying, like, if this is a Black Mirror episode, I would like to wake up now.
the stage. He's one of my favorite comedians. You know him from The Daily Show. It's Josh Johnson!
I just finished. I had no idea the Diddy documentary would be episodes. Episodes. I knew a documentary was coming out. I thought it'd be like a documentary. You know, like when you see a documentary, it's a feature-length film, but it's a documentary. This is episodes. 50 Cent produced a documentary about Diddy that he's apparently been working on for a decade. And it has episodes. I've never hated someone for episodes. That's what every person I've ever hated, it's been a very short story. I just like, oh, we don't really get along, feel like they betrayed me, and that's about it. 50 Cent sat the world down for 4 episodes. This is crazy. 4 episodes. With some of the most, this is some of the best footage I've seen in a documentary, because what they did, this is insane. This is fundamentally crazy, okay? The documentary starts with Diddy in a hotel room talking to his staff and his lawyers about what to do about this like incoming indictment, right? It's like 5 days before he gets arrested, right? And as I'm watching this, I'm like, that's curious, because this is 50 Cent's documentary about Diddy, yet there's a camera in Diddy's hotel while he talks to his lawyers. He's talking to his lawyers about a strategy on what to do, like a game plan. How did 50... How did 50 Cent get this footage? Is he in disguise? How is he in the room for this thing? And then this dude's like on the phone. Diddy is on the phone and he's talking about how we need to be aggressive, we need to come back. He literally says we need to get like the dirtiest, most like expert propaganda we can out there. Which, okay, insane to say on camera. A camera I think you know is there. That's wild. I just had this question in my head of like, how did they get this footage? Turns out that Diddy was making a documentary and he had started recording everything because this documentary was going to be about like his comeback, right? So he's like covering everything himself, recording everything himself, so he has his point of view out there, right? So then he was going to make a documentary. He thought he was going to beat everything and then make a documentary, release that documentary, and then get everyone on his side again. And now you have to ask yourself, how did 50 come into the possession of Diddy's footage for Diddy's documentary about Diddy? This is crazy because he's making a documentary himself, but then he took that documentary. Apparently what happened was that Diddy did go to jail and then he couldn't pay the cameraman. So then... So then 50 was like, I'll pay the cameraman. And Diddy is such a terrible person. He is such a terrible person that even in the documentary he was making about his comeback, it makes him look so bad that 50 didn't need to edit any of it. It literally... He already said on a camera he knew was there, we need to get the dirtiest, like, most filthy expert propaganda we can out there. That was for his documentary. And then 50 took it and he was like, this will do nicely, yes. This is fantastic. Because I was sitting there, I was like, because also, the other thing happened. So he gets off the phone with his lawyers, gets off the phone with his team and everything, and then he stands up and he's looking out the window, and out the window, he's like, gotta be like 26th floor or something. He's like in like a high rise, and across on the roof of another building, another tall building, but on the roof of another building is just, Diddy is looking out the window to another building, and on top of that building is just the police. I'm not the police, so I don't know exactly how they operate, but that's the first. Usually in a stakeout, they hide. The fact that the police are outside Diddy's window on another building just like... This is crazy. Once again, this is his footage. His footage. That's wild. 50 Cent has been promoting this documentary with glee. He's been going because he hates Diddy so much. He hate Diddy. You think you hate stuff. You do. You think you hate things. Ooh, I hate racism. No, not as much as 50 hates Diddy. Ooh, I hate sexism. You haven't even met sexism if you compare it to how much 50 hates Diddy. Oh, I hate olives. You love olives compared to how much 50 hates Diddy. Not ready for how much 50 hates Diddy. He hates his, first of all, he hates some episodes. He hates this man. Episode after episode, he hates him enough to get good footage. Narrative stringing footage. Complete through line footage. Never before seen footage. Man, he hates this dude. He's been promoting, he's been going everywhere, going on talk shows, everything. Goes on all these talk shows. This dude went on like MS Now, whatever they're calling it, and he's talking. I think he was talking to Ari Melber, and Ari is asking him, just seems like they're having a conversation about like him specifically, and they were like, "Do you have any like heroes, people you look up to?" And from what I could tell, 50 was basically like, I have people in my life that have accomplished things that I would like to accomplish, but I don't put anyone up on that level to just like call them my hero. He doesn't like deify a person like that. And then Ari asks him, what about like in your life, have you seen any like villains you don't want to be like, people you don't want patterning your life after? And he was like, he's like, Diddy. This dude, because this dude has been making this documentary for a while, just quietly, in the shadows, just collecting, just making it happen. A decade of work going into a documentary. And now it's like he gets to show it off. This is his baby. And you know how new parents are. You know how this is the miracle of life happened through you. You made this person that you see, it's changed your whole perspective on the world. You see this person now that you can't. Anyone brings up, how have you been lately? How have I been? This person, the miracle of life, my baby. Look, do you want to see my baby? Do you want to see pictures of the baby? You have thousands of pictures of the baby. But no parent that I've ever met is promoting their child the way 50 is promoting this documentary series. This man went on, apparently, this is the rumor, apparently he went on like the ABC stations specifically to do the interview because ABC is one of the only stations they play in prison. This is a biblical amount of hate. Cain didn't hate Abel this much. This is wild. He is doing everything but looking right to the camera, smiling and waving at Diddy. This is insane. This is wild. He's smiling so hard. I've never seen him smile like this. This man's smiling. 50 Cent in every interview is smiling ear to ear. I didn't know he had dimples. I had no... I think they just came in. This is wild. Oh, he hates him so much. Oh, man. Wow. He hates him. So, like, I've never seen hate like this, and to produce something that is both like a product of your hate, because most hate is fruitless. You know, people talk about hate, and one of the was one of those famous quotes: "Hate is drinking poison and hoping the other person will die." Apparently, hate is also making a documentary series detailing how much everyone else should hate this person. One of the craziest things to me about the Diddy documentary is that the pure length means that he's more evil now. Now that we've got like a documentary about it, he's more evil now than a bunch of other historical figures. There are people from World War II that did not get 4 episodes on them anywhere. That's crazy. During the trial, I don't know if y'all saw this, but there were some people that were they were out there saying like free Diddy. They were out there, you know, with signs like picketing, like he might be innocent and maybe he was just another innocent black man being railroaded by the system. And apparently all those people were being paid $20 an hour by Diddy. Here's the thing. This is what's so funny about that to me, is that like they're out there being like he's innocent, but they're also not hiding the fact that he is paying them to say that. And not only is he paying $20 an hour to stand outside and be like, yo, free Diddy outside the courthouse, but even while paying $20 an hour, he was only able to get like 14 people. Do you know how guilty you have to be offering up money and then people just passing by the street like, I think I'm good. Do you know how many people could use $20? People literally, you know, get on the train asking for change in New York all the time. And even they were like, you know what? Not every $20 is a good $20. Oh, this documentary is insane because there's so much that we knew beforehand. There's so many things that we already knew where we were like, all right, this is, you know, we've all seen it. A lot of baby oil, way more baby oil than anybody needs, right? Which I will say this, watching the documentary now, knowing what we know, editing-wise, they didn't need that many shots of baby oil. That does feel like 50 Cent was standing in the editing room like, no, and put some baby oil right there. No, they mentioned baby oil, so go ahead and throw to the baby oil. Okay. Oh, but you watch it and yeah, you already knew the things he was implicated in. You already saw, oh, okay, there's this shooting way back when, there's this assault of this other rapper, there's all these like whisperings, and then you watch the documentary, and I don't know how he did it. I don't know how 50 Cent did this. This man managed to get things we've never seen before. Do you know how hard it is to have never before seen footage of things from like 20, 25 years ago? Like, a good example is, in the documentary, they talk about how much Diddy may have had to do with the deaths of both Tupac and Biggie, right? Which is also insane that someone who can't rap at all may have deprived us of two of the greats. That's crazy. It's so disgusting. It would be like if Trump shot two of the presidents that were on Mount Rushmore. Like, it's... like, and then years later, we're just sitting here like, not Lincoln. How you gonna do that to George Washington? No, it's wild. And so in the documentary, there's like footage, never before seen footage of moments leading up to the deaths of both Biggie and Tupac. I can't describe how hard it is to come by things we didn't even know existed. Both of these were police investigations. The police investigated, not hard, the police investigated both the deaths of Biggie and Tupac, and somehow 50 Cent found footage. I've never in my life hated somebody enough to find footage. There's like this video, and this is also, you gotta go back to when this happened. This isn't when everybody had like a footage maker in their pocket. Do you know how we are accidentally being surveilled at all times? All of us. I know you think you're not because maybe you don't have your phone out and you're not posting where you are all the time, but the phone knows. The phone is very aware of where you are. And the phone loves snitching. The phone, one of your phone's favorite things to do is hit up a Fortune 500 company and be like, we over here. In case you want to study our patterns, figure out how to advertise to us, we're right here. We are completely and totally surveilled all the time. People don't realize that, like, even if your phone is off, you were just taking a walk. Maybe you're like, you know what? I want a break. I want a break from everything. I'm gonna take a quick break. I might even leave my phone at home and I'm just gonna go for a walk. That's great. Detach for a second. The thing in your pocket is too much of your life, and too much access to you comes through that thing. Like, sometimes just for the sake of your mental well-being, it's important to take a break from it, right? And you assume when you take that break that the phone can't even snitch. Meanwhile, you're taking a break, walking through your neighborhood, getting caught on every Ring camera. Everybody got a Ring camera. You getting caught from Ring camera to Ring camera to Ring camera to Ring camera to Ring camera. And even when they try to ping your phone, the phone like, he not here. Like, the phone loves snitching on you. The idea that, like, any crime goes unsolved is wild to me. The way we are surveilled now, I'm like, how did you not catch them? I know where they are right now. It's crazy. So you go back a little bit. Go back to before it was so easy to keep track of everyone. Because even when people text you, they expect an answer from you. They have your number. They know it went to your phone. It said delivered on their end, right? And unless you fixed it on your phone snitched on you to them. It said read to them. It said read. It said, he saw it, he just don't want to answer. It said it. It told you. It told you immediately, right? And so even when you text someone, we expect immediate answers. We expect a sort of immediacy from everyone. And if you're not getting it, then it must mean something, right? Let's go back to a simpler time. Go back to the 90s when, you could just move about the world. I'm surprised people in the 90s, like, I'm a 90s baby, but I was a baby. I was a child. I didn't have the chance to take the opportunities allowed. But how did everybody that was an adult in the 90s not serial kill? It seemed like it was right there. Anytime somebody older than me hates somebody else older than me, I'm like, you could have been dealt with that. That seemed like, all right, you don't want to solve a problem, that's on you. But, like, I'm just saying, it's crazy to look back Even like CCTV footage from like 1990. It is indistinguishable from a game of Pong. Like it's so unclear what is happening in the thing. I can't believe anyone ever went to jail off of the original CCTV footage. It's so hard to tell what is happening. I can't tell if that's somebody beating somebody up on a street corner or if that is the Sasquatch. It could be either one of them. Black and white, barely imaging, got pixels everywhere, just moving. And it's like, as you can see right here, no, I can't see that. I can't see that at all. Even when I watch old episodes of Law and Order, and then they play the footage, that's how you know it was bad. I'm watching on TV, them pretend to be lawyers on TV. And they're still like, as you can see right here, and even sitting at home, I'm like, there's no way anybody can see anything. Like, is this where I'm supposed to suspend my disbelief and be like, it's a TV show, I can see it. Like, go back to a simpler time, right? Go back to a time where if you wanted there to be footage of something, you had to go out of your way. Truly out of your way. You accidentally make footage now. People don't realize that, but like even some of the things that get people caught when they do a crime weren't even them being stupid. But some people are very dumb. Some people are incredibly dumb. And they're like, look at me doing a crime. That is happening. And that's happening a lot. We got to get the youngins to stop doing the crime in front of their phone and then posting it. Doing the crime at all is bad. We should start there. But also, doing the crime and recording it is insane. Doing the crime, recording it, and posting it yourself. We have got to... the snitch is in the house. Like, the snitch is you. The snitch is in the mirror. There's no one got to tell on you anymore. You post it. Look at me doing the crime. At what time is it? Let me take a screenshot of myself. Hold it to days. Let me take a screenshot of myself holding up another phone with today's most viral TikTok so that everybody can know for certain that it was me and I did it and I'm proud of it. And then when I show up in court, I'll be like, who? No, truly, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back to the 90s when you could just go for a walk, having, I don't know, killed somebody, and then... I don't even, truly, I don't know how, up until recently, the true sort of overwatching surveillance police state that we don't really sit aware that we live in. Until then, I'm blown away that a cop ever solved a crime. That's true detective work. If you go back to the 90s and you're like, there's footprints. Let's check the footprints against the shoes that have been made in the last 10 years. Like, all that stuff is like real detective work. And when they caught someone, I think I would have been like, wow. How? This is crazy. Police now, they're just like, that looks like him in the video he made. I'm just saying, he said his whole name, so it might be him. You know, like him and this dude, they had beef, so then he beat him up on camera, recorded himself beating him up because he thought it would look cool, and then held up his own driver's license and then posted it to Instagram. It just seems like an open and shut case. Police work back in the day seemed like real work, I guess. Like, that's... How'd you catch anybody? They weren't here for it. Then you got to track down the people. Then you got to get interviews out of the people. The people don't want to cooperate because they're more scared of this person than they are of you. And then you got to connect dots. You got to wait for DNA stuff to come. The DNA testing wasn't even like that good up until recently. There was like bad DNA testing. The early stuff, they were onto something, but it was bad. They'd send it off, and the test results would come back. It is blood. You haven't helped me at all. Whose blood is it? Somebody red, I think. Like, It's gotta be somebody red. Because the whole thing was red, so. And now you can enhance images. Even if you got a grainy image, you can zoom in and enhance it. And you can't necessarily enhance and upscale it the way that they did on TV. But a lot of science follows a lot of like entertainment. It's funny how that does keep happening, where there will be an idea, you'll see it on TV. It doesn't really exist that way, but then it almost becomes the design for the thing that will exist one day because it fits into the imagination so well. They're like, oh yeah, why don't we just have facial recognition that cross-references all the other faces we have in the database, and then you just run it and it goes face, 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 face. That's him. That's him. Wouldn't that be better? You know? But instead, you're talking about the 90s. You're talking about a time where you could just go for a nice long stroll, not be on camera anywhere potentially, depending on where you were. You know, you could make a call, you could make a phone call, and there would be a record with the cell phone company of who you called and when you called them. That type of thing was there. That level of like surveillance was in place, but they wouldn't necessarily know the whole content of the call. You know, not like now. Not like now where people basically do phone calls for the world. You know, you see these voice memos that people leave, and I'm like, that's the most, you might as well have just told me and the company what you had to say. People will leave a voice memo, and some of them are very sweet. I always love getting a voice memo. I'm just saying, they've already got on your phone, we'll summarize everything. We'll summarize it for you. Actually, I learned to read a long time ago, so I don't need you to summarize anything for me. You'll see a text message. Text message will be from your mom, and it'll say, Mom expresses feelings of concern. But then you look at the company, and you're like, why y'all read my text message? Like, we're not reading it. No, we're not reading it. We're not reading it at all. I'm like, that was a pretty good guess, though. When I opened the phone, it was my mom being like, I'm concerned about you. Just let me see my message. It's crazy. They don't do that anymore. You used to get a text message, and then you would see like a little preview of it, and you could just read the preview, and based off the first half of the sentence, you could decide if it was something you were willing to reply to right now. You know? Because you can't just open it right away. It'll say read. But if you get a text message from someone and the first few sentences might pop up on your phone and it's like, where do you get off? You're like, all right, I'm gonna have to address that later. But now you get the text message and it's like a full summary of what you were definitely about to read anyway. That's weird. It's like, how? How does anybody get away with anything now? Especially now that crime is dumber. How does anybody get away? It takes you back to those times in like the 90s. Maybe you go for a walk, maybe you are just driving your car, and you're truly like free in a way. There's nobody really looking for every little move that you make. And in the case of Diddy, somebody should have been. Somebody should have been watching, checking the entire time. You know, you see in this documentary the relationship between Biggie and Tupac, the relationship between East Coast and West Coast, and how so much of the actual troubles were like orchestrated. They were stoked by Diddy. Like Biggie liked Tupac. They were cool. And then Diddy was jealous of Pac. Diddy was jealous of Pac because Pac was everything he wanted to be. You know, he was charismatic. He was truly like a poet that could make you understand where he was coming from. You did not have any sort of similar life experiences to him at all, but he could express himself in a way that brought you in. No matter where you came from, there was real connection there. He could build and he could bring together real community, right? And so for that, he was loved. He was instantly accepted. He was praised. And if you're someone like Diddy, you see that and you're immediately jealous of it. It's everything you want to be. He's good looking, he's young, he's successful in a way that comes from his effortless talent and his hard work. He's everything that Diddy wanted to be, and that Diddy knows he isn't or wasn't. You know, Tupac was a rapper. Do you know what I mean? Like, Diddy, I know Diddy want to rap. Ooh, Diddy want to rap so bad. One of the most dastardly things this documentary has done in some of the editing is just showing Diddy dance for no reason. You can tell Diddy not talented from the way he dancing. I know it's a harsh statement to make, but Diddy dances. Diddy dances like Tom Cruise from Tropic Thunder. Like Diddy. And Tom Cruise was on rhythm. You know what I mean? Like Diddy was over here in the documentary. Like he was trying to land a plane. I was sitting there like, what am I watching? I'm just saying, you go back to that time, right? Go back to the time in the 90s when your phone was just a phone. Like the cell phone was only a phone. You could make a call and play Snake. Maybe Centipede if you were fancy, but like that's all it was. It had that stick that came out of the antenna that shot out of it that for some reason wasn't out all the time. Why would you not pull it out all the time? If you want to have a good call, why do you need to pull it out? Shouldn't it just come out every single time? And then you would drop it. You drop your phone and it was not a big deal. Look at people that drop their phone now. This is how you can tell we're all addicted to our phone. Watching someone drop their phone is like watching somebody drop crack down a drain. They're like, oh! They had never before seen footage of the moments leading up to both Biggie and Pac's death. Never before seen, and not never before seen as in these are the tapes we've been looking for the whole time. We didn't even know these angles existed. That's crazy. And that's very hard to do. Like you see tragedies happen now, and because of social and because of search, people can pull for all the different angles, all the different sides to anything that has happened since everyone started carrying a cell phone, right? But this thing is crazy. You see them walking. You see Tupac walking all the way up until a fight that he got in. And then later, you see through footage, things that people have not seen before, leading up to his death. Same thing with Biggie. There was this moment in the documentary where there's somebody sitting in their own car, right, with a camcorder, which is weird. I know we're going in the Wayback Machine, but even in the 90s, nobody sat in their car with a camcorder. That's a new thing. Recording yourself in your car is a new thing. It's a relatively new thing to humanity. We weren't doing this before maybe TikTok. Like, we weren't doing it that much, and now people record themselves in their car so much. Why did we start crying in the car? Look, I know it's already like a social phenomenon and everything, but we will need to stop. Like, that's People recording themselves crying in the car. Because the first video I saw somebody crying in the car, I don't remember what they were crying about, but they were talking about something. And it was something big. It was something happening in the world. But they were like, And I saw them in the car. And they were talking, they were like, it's so unfair, this is life, you know, it just comes at you, this is horrible, what are you supposed to do? And I remember sitting there like, okay, all right, they're making some valid points, I understand why they're upset, but who recording them right now? This is terrible. Why would somebody record them and then put it online? And then, because I was scrolling when I saw it. So then when I clicked on the profile, I saw it was their profile. I was like, oh, somebody done hacked them and posted a video of them crying. That's terrible. This is a true demon that got a hold of their footage and then posted to their page of them crying. That's so embarrassing. Oh, I hope they find justice, right? I was so interested, genuinely. I was so perplexed at what was happening because then the other people commenting weren't addressing the fact that this person cry is their like. No, I seem to be the only one confused about what was happening. Everybody else in the comments was like, "Keep your head up," you know, like all this. And so, look, I was curious about how this was going to develop because I've been, witness to many of my friends that have been like hacked, especially when Facebook was like young, and then somebody would get on your Facebook, they type out a bunch of things on your timeline, just like dumb stuff, and then you would get them locked out, you get back on and everything. So I've seen this before, but I don't know. I was so invested in how this person was gonna come back from this that I did follow them, right? I hit follow just to be, because I'm expecting any day now they're gonna be like, hey, somebody, broke into my account and posted me at my weakest moment. Thank y'all for the support, and so I followed. And then a couple days later, I saw another video. I saw the handle, and I saw a profile picture, so I saw that it was them again. And I'm sitting here scrolling up, and they're in their car again. And then I'm thinking, oh, okay, this is where they're going to say, like, hey, somebody broke into my account. Thank y'all for the well wishes and everything, but I'm good. I don't want y'all to see me in that light. That was a very weak point for me. And so when I scrolled up, I'm fully expecting them to say the thing I just said, but then they started talking. They were like, I just wanted to reach out to everybody. Thank y'all so much. The comments you left and the messages I got really touched me and everything. And just, and I was like, no, wait. There's no way though. No. And then I put it together. I was like, wait, they were recording themselves crying in their car. That's the most private time to cry. We need to go back, just for the sake, once again, of our mental health as a nation. We got to go back to just having a crash out parked in the car and let that be history. Like that. You are not your best when you cried in your car. I would throw it out there that maybe you don't want people hearing what you have to say when you're to the point where you break it down, parked in your car somewhere. Stop broadcasting it. This is bad. This is very bad. Because I've never seen a cry in my car video and been like, oh, yeah, that'll change things. I'm just saying, like, if you in the car, right? If you in the car, and you are upset, it's understandable. This life is hard, and sometimes people feel like they got to walk it all by themselves. They don't know the support they have. They don't know the people that they have in their life. And in those moments, there's an opportunity. You could use that time to reach out to someone and tell them that you need help. You could reach out to someone, and even if, I'll even pitch this, if you're very bad at asking for help, right? Try to help someone else. Because the same bond that leads you to help someone else will then have them looking out for you whenever things are down for you, right? You have this thing in your phone. You have this thing. It's incredibly powerful, right? It tells everybody where you are. Government, friends, everybody. Everybody know where you are. Everybody knows where you are. Everybody knows. People you don't know where you are. People you've never met know where you are. Right now, they know you're here. Like, people know where you are because it's in your phone, but you also know where other people are. You can reach out to people. You need help. This could be a way that you get the help that you need. It could be. Or you could buy one of those little dashboard stands. You know, and it's got that little knuckle on it that you put the thing on from the back of your phone and you... Or you could do that. You could do that. That's an option. It's possible you could give that a shot as well. Because I do think, here's the thing, I'll throw out there. I do think that crying in the phone, like crying in the car on the phone, I think that genuinely came from a fundamental epidemic of loneliness. Do you know what I mean? Like that thing is not something that's born out of having a wealth of people to talk to. You know? It comes from being in a place where, sure, everyone will like shirk it off, they're just looking for attention, whatever, but I think it goes deeper than that. And I think it's people like literally, genuinely crying out for someone to hear what they have to say, for someone to have their back, for someone to get them, right? And so they reach out to the whole of the internet, and then what they get back in return, sometimes it's a bunch of hate, sometimes it's a bunch of love, whatever it is, sometimes it's just people, keep your head up, whatever. But I don't think it's a substitute for like genuine human connection, like having that person to sit in your car with you, to look at and go, like that, like, that's much better. That's just between the two of you. And instead of becoming your worst moment online, it becomes like an intimate moment you have with a friend who has your back, who you can cry to, right? I said all that to say somebody in the 90s was sitting in their car with a camcorder, like a camcorder, do you remember what this was? It was this metal with lenses in it and buttons, way too many buttons. They had more buttons than what the camcorder could do. The camcorder is over here promising all that good stuff, and then you hit the button and it look exactly the same. Nothing has changed at all. Sitting there with the camcorder. Because the camcorder had that strap. It had that strap right on the back, so that way, you know, you could do some real journalism, some true video journalism. You know what I mean? Some people had the camera and they had to hold the big thing and they got to put their eye into the little pocket. Not with the camcorder. Camcorder even had the little screen popped out. And so you just had it ready. Bow! I see everything. Where were these cameras even from? It's crazy. Where is the camera from? Because there's a thing that had never been aired before, where someone is in their car and they're like, is that Biggie? And then you hear pop, 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 pop. Oh my God, they just got shot. Somebody called somebody. And then you hear like someone who's like in the car calling 911, but you see from their perspective First of all, who are they? Where have they been this entire time? That's crazy. Where did they? Maybe there's a chance that in all of this investigative, in the long time, apparently like a decade, that 50 Cent's been working on this documentary, that somebody somewhere was able to pay somebody for something that they had never given anybody before. And, there's also different reasons why you might hold on to something. Imagine you're there when something like this happens. You may not want to broadcast it to the world that you were right there and then you saw something on tape, because they didn't see a person. They just saw that these shots were happening, right? And so maybe you don't want to broadcast it because now you don't want to go to the police in a thing where they seem to have no leads and be like, oh, I have some extra information for you. Maybe, I don't know. It's plausible, but it seems just so wild that these two moments would meet up, that somebody would just be recording in their car with what had to be like a camcorder. Who just walked around with a camcorder in the 90s like that wasn't shooting their own document, just in the car with the camcorder all the time in case something happens? Fast forward to present and it ends up in this Netflix documentary about Diddy. Maybe that's what happened. But what seems just as likely is that 50 Cent time traveled back in time. With the camcorder, right? Because you don't want the resolution to be too clear. People start asking questions. Time travel back in time, sat in the car and point the camcorder in the direction. Oh, is that Biggie? Pop, 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 pop. Oh no, someone shot Biggie. I'm gonna go back to the future. And there's so many, it's a documentary so full of detail, you almost have to rewatch it, because then there are things that go over your head the first time where you don't even realize how evil the thing that Diddy was, because so much information is flying at you. It's like information, here's a tidbit, here's an interview, first-hand account, somebody was there, baby oil. Here's another tidbit, here's a first-hand account, here's what someone had to say, here's something that we didn't even know Diddy did, baby oil. There's so many instances of them cutting to baby oil that sometimes some of the evil gets a little lost. The idea that this man might have had so much to do with Biggie's death and then went on a campaign like he was Biggie's best friend in the entire world. It's not just insane that people let him get away with it. What's even worse is that he, through this memorable event, right, all throughout Bed-Stuy, Biggie's funeral, right, and then no one knew, I didn't know until I saw the documentary, that he made Biggie's estate pay for that funeral. Yeah, that's... And if you get too distracted by the baby oil, you might miss that detail. And it's a scary thing that what gets revealed in this documentary isn't just how bad Diddy was. It's also how bad so many of us want money, fame, something he could dangle over people that really let a lot of this abuse keep going, that really kept a lot of his secrets, that really kept people doing whatever it would take to be in the loop. People can only have a real power over you when they have something that you want. Once you decide that you don't want it that bad or that you're going to get it for yourself, they have nothing over you. And there were people who tried to do that. And so then Diddy would come at them with violence. At least if I can make you fearful. If I can't make you want anything, if I can make you fearful, I can keep you in line. You know, there's just so many people that have ended up dead. That's kind of like through the documentary sort of laid at Diddy's feet. Like either he's out here having people killed and doing all this stuff, or he's one of the unluckiest people to be around. Like that's... Either way, I would never want a track record like that. I would never want people to be like, oh yeah, I met Josh Johnson a week ago and now I'm real sick. One of the things that's so harrowing about the documentary to me is that you see how long Diddy got away with things that people are saying plainly that he just did. They're saying, no, this thing just happened, and then everyone was acting like it was normal, and everybody was acting like it was normal because apparently it was normal. It was normal for him to do all these things, whether he was beating up somebody, he was abusing somebody, he was stealing from somebody. All these things were like incredibly normal, and it's genuinely terrifying that something like that was able to become normal for a person. But it was able to become normal because there are in instances. It's a hard judgment to pass, but there are certain instances where you see a shade of someone who is big and bad and powerful and using all that power for evil, and you see a shade of that in even some of the people around them that they might be mistreating. There were plenty of people that were like cool with all this mistreatment until it came around to them. Or they were cool with everything that Diddy was doing. As bad as it was, they could look the other way, they just wouldn't acknowledge it, but then they got fired. You know? And there is no Diddy without a bunch of little Diddys running around wanting to be like him, wanting to emulate that sort of thing, wanting to have power just so that they had choice what to do with it. Because one of the things that people with power like to do is they love to rob you of your choices. You know? There's always a choice to a degree. It may not be a choice that you like, but they love to rob the sort of feeling of freedom you have over your choices. You can make very hard choices. Someone could walk up to you and say, give me all your money or I'm going to kill you. And you could say, kill me. You could. It is a choice. Some people would say that's no choice. It is. It is a choice. They said, give me all your money or implies a different outcome. Right? Do this or this. That's your choice. It's not a good choice. Don't get me wrong. It's not something that I envy. It's not even something that I'm saying it's easy to walk away from. It's easy. It's scary. It's scary when someone with power wants something from you or they want to take something from you and you don't know how you're going to survive, right? But they don't get away with this thing. It takes time to become the person that Diddy was. It takes decades. It took him decades. It took everyone looking the other way for little things, then big things for so long that finally he does seem like this unstoppable, unbeatable force. He does beat people down in court. He does beat people down in person, right? But these people can't get to where they are without us. They can't get to where they are without us looking the other way, without us slightly condoning, not quite condemning. They can't get that way without us. These people just don't come out of the woodwork. He started as this kid who didn't even drink, who didn't do drugs, but he had an idea in his head of what a man was and what a powerful man was, and he wanted to be those things at any cost. And so he took it upon himself to start himself down that road. Fast forward 20, 25 years later, this is the type of person who thinks he can beat people in front of cameras. You know? And what does it take to take down a person like that? Because they seem so powerful. They have so much money. Diddy valued at billions, right? What can you do to a billionaire? How do you take a person like that down? One piece at a time. All of us. It takes all of us not looking away. It takes all of us doing something. You know, because people have said in the documentary, people have said in interviews that when Diddy is like in his element, he's untouchable. You would think he was a god. But when you're alone in the room with him, you see, not only is this just a man, this is like still that like kind of scared kid, kind of insecure kid, right? That in no way condones anything that he's ever done. That in no way is like an excuse. I'm just saying that's like the truth. The armor is a facade, you know? One of the craziest things that has happened since the documentary came out is that Ja Rule came out against 50 Cent and called him a snitch for making the documentary, which is not a popular side to take. That is weird. It's a weird thing to say when no one was talking to you at all. That's not a smart career or business move. You saw someone who still hates you produce a documentary for Netflix about someone else they hated that is 4 episodes long. You saw that and you thought to yourself, I'll get involved. Are you out of your mind? I was blown away. Called him a snitch and everything. Ja Rule, by the way, I looked up Ja Rule just to see what was up. Just, I wonder what Ja Rule had been up to, because it wasn't rapping, right? And most recently, the last time Ja Rule made headlines was because he got punched at a Brandy and Monica concert on their The Boy Is Mine tour. Where you get punched says a lot about where you are in life. Do you know what I mean? If you're a rapper and you get into a fight at a rap concert, that seems par for the course. If you are a rapper and you get punched backstage at an R&B concert, you must have had it coming. These people are singing melodies. I'm not a fighter, but one of the worst things to do is to get beat up to soft music. Imagine now. Imagine I went to a gospel concert and got slapped. We'd be like, well, he must have had it coming because they're here to worship. This is crazy. You got punched. And then he posted a video of himself, smiling at the camera, showing he didn't have like a mark on him or anything, which would be badass, except you got punched in the back of the head. Like, your face should be fine. If you have damage on your face or being punched in the back of your head, I'm very sorry to report you are dead, sir. That's what happens when you die. If you get hit in the back of the head and it affects the front. Imagine you get punched to Brandy's music. I've talked about it before. I've had fights. I'm not acting like I've won all of them or anything. But imagine if I got whooped to Taylor Swift. You wouldn't be able to respect me. Even when I hear that "You belong with me, son," I flinch. Like, that would change your whole life, getting beat up to Taylor Swift. Or like Maggie Rogers, like you get beat up to some indie music. Would destroy your reputation. I don't even know why would Josh say anything? The last notable thing you did was Fire Festival. Like you didn't go to jail, but Billy did. But you were his partner. You were in all the pictures with him. That's crazy. The only thing scarier than the documentary is that Diddy's gonna get out. I'm terrified. I've been talking reckless. I really thought he was gonna go down. I was positive. I was positive. I was so sure justice was gonna prevail. You know what I mean? This is crazy. This is so insane. The American justice system had one job, right? One job. Finally, a black dude did everything. And somehow this is the one that slips through the cracks. That's crazy. Do you know what I mean? Do you know how many people I know have been arrested or gone to jail for something slight? They barely had it. But then a jury was like, maybe they did it. Let's send them away. Diddy and OJ are the two people that I've seen where I'm like, guys, what? What? This is crazy. You watch this. It's insane. You watch this documentary and you're like, wow, this dude is a true demon. Like in every sense of the word. Like he's so evil. It's horrible. It's horrible, the things that he did to people. There's never any excuse for it. No matter what your childhood was, no matter how much you're lacking in love, no matter what trauma you've been through. There are people who have always had it worse than other people that don't go about doing like evil business. And because I believe in like forces in a way. I do believe that there are some people that are so pulled to like the worst of their nature that they'll do whatever it takes to feed an ego, to keep a side of themselves quiet that makes them question the things that they're doing, you know? But I also truly believe in balance. I believe in balance, and I don't think that like any man is like truly a saint. All of us have our issues, all of us have our problems, and we have our things that keep us human. We have our mistakes, we have everything that drags a person down, right? So I would never try to put a person on a pedestal or make them some sort of living saint because I don't know what their inner thoughts are. I don't actually know their heart. I don't know if the good that they do is to be seen doing good or if it's to actually put more good in the world. I can't tell you. I have no idea. But because I grew up in a religious home with a grandma that really believed in Jesus. You know, I've seen that picture of Saint Michael stepping on Satan's neck. And I don't know, it just kind of feels like that's what 50 Cent is doing to Diddy. You know what I mean? Like, got the sword and everything.
When I